So welcome to the launch of the Philosophy of Birth Network. I am Stella Villarmea. I didn't introduce myself. I'm professor of philosophy at the Complutense University of Madrid and associate faculty member at the University of Philosophy at the faculty of the University of Oxford. Today, I will not speak on philosophy in this short presentation. I will be speaking on the network. I will introduce you to the Philosophy of Birth Network, content, aims, and goals. So you can read the focus of our website, of our network in the website through the lived experience of women illuminated by the insights from the vibrant new field of the philosophy of birth. The Philosophy of Birth Network aims to explore how we understand the practices that bring us into being, challenging widely held assumptions about rationality and agency in the delivery suite. This is the way we started to introduce ourselves. Women frequently have their rights breached during childbirth, and we need to know why this happens before we can fix it effectively. We are eager to talk and exchange on how good birth practices are possible. So the Philosophy of Birth Network aims to navigate the stormy waters of contemporary philosophy and obstetric and midwifery practice through live and unplugged conversations on reproductive care. Through our conversations, we hope to explore in a different way what it is to give birth, what it is to be born, what it is to have agency and capacity in the delivery suite, and we seek to bridge the silos that have existed historically between women, women's health, and philosophical thinking. The philosophy of birth is becoming a vibrant and growing field of contemporary theory and critical thought and philosophy. And that is because birth care brings to the fore fascinating philosophical questions. Is a person in labor? Is a person in labor a subject with full rights in practice as well as in theory? Can they exercise their autonomy in a situation of maximum vulnerability? How do we understand the incredible lucidity and awareness that characterizes the work of giving birth? What is the relation between fertility, pregnancy, birth, and the child's natality? How do agency, capacity, and pain intertwine during and between contractions? Birth poses key questions relating to knowledge, freedom, gender, and what it means to be a human being. The Philosophy of Birth Network will engage in translational philosophy. That is, philosophy that can be of relevance for both practitioners and philosophers. And all those who are interested in birth, whether as researcher or as any of the other professions or backgrounds or life moments that we mentioned before. We hope that the Philosophy of Birth Network contributes to develop insights on how to make our birth practices more values-based and person-centered. Because how to tell our tales, how to listen to the tales we choose to tell, how to talk about birthing philosophically, how renewed attention to the birthing body-mind helps to pave the way for a rethinking of birth in health, social sciences, humanities, and philosophy, art, daily practices. How does this reflection, new ways of thinking of the birthing body-mind, how does this reflection contribute to naming, elaborating, and making visible concrete aspects of human life in their connection to gender, race, sexuality? How we battle to make our birthing experiences communicable in a way that does not underestimate the experience and allows us to see it from multiple perspectives. Lots of questions. We would like to build creative thinking, and yes, I believe, philosophical, clinical, legal, anthropological, historical thinking can be creative, of course. So we would like to build creative thinking that illustrates, informs, or questions how we represent the birthing body-mind when we attempt to give voice to experiences that are maybe graphic, shocking, bloody, usually unseen, and I would add mostly unheard. The philosophy of birth, working to move the screen. Thank you very much. The Philosophy of Birth Network aims to explore how we understand the practices that bring us into being and reveal our humanity. Together, we can contribute to a radically new meditation on origin and birth. The network aims to build a new and radical logos for genos, an embodied genealogy. That's what it means, logos for genos. A genealogy, a new genealogy, which not only redresses imbalances of gender, but also addresses life and happiness. Who will be here? Who are the network members? The Philosophy of Birth Network is open to all working at the intersectional of conceptual and empirical approaches to values-based medicine or practice, philosophy of birth, obstetrics, midwifery, philosophy of medicine, medical humanities, with all its branches in law, history, anthropology, for example, and all of them other rights advocates and activists that surround these areas. We welcome academics, healthcare professionals, policymakers, and experts by experience. We are committed to developing a diverse network. We are international in scope, but seek to aid communication and collaboration between people and groups in academia, practice, and communities to enable the sharing of knowledge across backgrounds and cultures and within different societal and healthcare contexts. We think the network could, should, can, and will be diverse, only if we work towards it. Please help us to become diverse and include the rich fabric and tapestry of life. We can enter the network as individuals with our professional criterion, backgrounds, and experience. We can keep connected to all the things that draw us in first instance, to our fields, to midwifery, to philosophy, to medicine, to academia, to practice, to humanities, social sciences, whatever, to parenthood. To keep connected with what draws us to those spaces. The autonomy of the network, this is the key point. The network is autonomous from, it's not a research project, it's not a position, it's not your work, it's autonomous in that sense. It's freestanding. That goes hand in hand with self-expression as professional or just citizen. Because we still have a voice that is yours, that is ours. This is a network that exists together, that exists for us. It is a space to explore, to bring out things we might never have thought we could exchange. We do not have targets that we have to meet. In other words, the process of exchange, dialogue, and discussion is not a means to an end, but the very essence of our network. We might be surprised by how many collaborations or results just happen from this kind of approach. It might bring joy, flexibility, a sense of meaning. The Philosophy of Birth Network, live and unplugged conversations on reproductive care can only happen for us and with us. So that you can place faces and names, the network has as leads myself, Professor Sudan, who will be talking soon, and Dr. Brenda Kelly, who will also be talking soon and are now with us. And the network has a wonderful team that includes Rodante van der Waal, who is online, philosopher and midwife, and Rebecca Granero, who is here in the room, midwife and PhD candidate in philosophy and gender studies. You can always write us with any question. Please check our website for further info. At the end of that dia, you have the link, but you can just go to the Values-Based Practice Center, go to networks, and then Philosophy of Birth Network. There you find us. Thank you so much.